I use a lot of different words to try to capture what's here, even though that's not possible. I use words like being, presence, reality. And I've said this before, but just to say it again and kind of use that as an entry point, that one of my favorite words is this. I don't know, somehow I like it. And I just want to point to this remarkable feature of this, that it can never be lost. We could say that's its invulnerability, which turns out to be our invulnerability, because we are this that's here. This that's here is everything appearing, including what we think of as the body, the mind, personality, the individual. And here it is, this instant, this miracle, that this for which there really is no word or words. It transcends any possibility of rendering it, any possibility of saying something about it. And just let yourself feel that, the boundless nature of this, the fathomless nature of it, the complete indescribability of this miracle, of this that's here. And as you're just feeling this, which of course is the only thing we're ever feeling, is this miracle of the miracle of this. One of the things that's quite obvious about it, and we live this reality, maybe without always appreciating it, the implications of it, and that is that this, I'm emphasizing this frequently, this has no stability to it, right? It would seem it's ungraspable. Try to grasp hold of this, and this experiencing this moment, right, just keeps slipping away. Strangely, really here for no time, right? So we're in a very real sense, we're losing this. We're losing experience in every flash instant. We're losing everything each moment, slipping away. Nothing can be held on to. Just feeling that, the impossibility of holding this in place and keeping it from disappearing, right? That we're powerless to keep it from vanishing, this. But here's the great paradox, which is this is never lost, even though it's constantly being lost. You see? Strange, isn't it? Impossible to hold on to, but you don't need to hold on to it because it's always here, even though it's always vanishing. I mean, it's truly a magic show, isn't it? A whole world of appearances and experiences and people and places and things and events, and yet none of it can be grasped hold of, owing to its relentless, shape-shifting, transforming nature, it would seem, right? And yet, this can't be lost, you see? No matter how many things you lose, no matter how many insights slip away, how many moments of understanding appear, they always disappear. Everything always disappears. We'll lose everything. We'll lose all the people in our life. We'll lose all experiences, all moments. The past is gone, it's lost. in that sense, right? What was here 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 1 instant ago, it's gone. And yet this remains, doesn't it? That's its indestructible nature. Feel its indestructible nature. No matter how much is lost, this remains, doesn't it? In this sense, it's unmovable. We can't say what it is. It's this, but you can't say what that is. And the way it appears is as this dynamism that has no stability. And yet the instant just gone in a flash, faster than a flash, but this is still here. No matter what happens, this remains. This, that is everything. This infinity. And we often have this sense in this world of the spiritual search for whatever it is we're searching for, of feeling like we've gained a foothold on it, right? We have some sense of it. And that sense vanishes, doesn't it? As everything does. But just notice how, as I said, no matter how many moments of clarity and insight arise, they always slip away, don't they? Experiences always slip away. That is their nature. This moment, whatever you might be feeling as if you're feeling, sensing that you're sensing, it just has no staying power, and yet everything vanishes, and here is this mystery of being. That's its invulnerability. In other words, you could lose everything, you know. You lose health, you lose family and friends and partners, and you lose the entire world. And there's always this. There's no point thinking about the future. I mean, you could imagine losing all these things and like, well, would this still be here? And all we really know ever is this that's here right now. We don't know a future. We don't know a past. We only know this instant, this timeless instant. And we can feel, though, this quality in the immediacy of this, of its constant dissolving and yet its indestructibility, right? This curious paradox that we're feeling in every moment. So nothing we can do can make this remain or disappear. It just, its nature is simply to be this. It's the one thing that remains. That's what makes it so valuable, we could say. The ultimate value. Somebody posted something I saw this morning on Instagram, a teacher was just posing a question, is awakening worth it, or something like that. And I was just, I don't know why the question struck me. Um, I didn't respond, but my response right now is, depending on how we define awakening, in the context of what I'm talking about now, we could define it as the discovery of that which always is, that which cannot be lost. And in that sense, is it worth it? Well, it's the greatest worth, the greatest value, because it can never be lost. That's its immeasurable value. Nothing can destroy it. There's nothing outside of it to destroy it, for one thing. It's not two things. We're just feeling the dynamism of this, the fluidity of this, the constant changing of this, transforming of this, the impossibility of holding on to this in one sense as as appearances that are so dynamic and fleeting. And at the same time, this remains indestructible. Never lost, never lost. No matter how many things are lost, this is never lost. That's its invulnerability. Cannot be destroyed. We actually can't lose sight of this, because we're always seeing this. It always looks different, but we're always seeing this, right? There's nothing else to see but this. Well, now it looks like this, but now it looks like this, and now it looks like this, but it's always this. Now it feels like this. Now it feels like this. Now it feels like this. I mean, all the descriptions are what they are, the effort of this to capture itself in a description, but it always eludes itself from capture, doesn't it? It always transcends reification. It transcends rendering. It transcends its own efforts to resolve itself as being something. That's how infinite it is. Curious, huh? This is trying to render itself. This is trying to interpret itself and come to some conclusion of what this is, and yet this is inconclusive, which helps to explain why we might have this sense of always being confused. Yeah. Because you could say that the opposite of confusion is, well, now I know what this is. It's this. And this says, sorry, I can't be, there's no conclusion. Because as you explore this, anytime you decide to explore, you might say intentionally explore this. I mean, all we're ever doing is exploring this. This is exploring itself through all of life experience, right? I was hearing music last night. Like that was this exploring this, right? Just look. We'll look and look and look and look and look, and we'll never come to the end of this, of what this is. It's just endless, isn't it? We never get to the fundamental nature of this. It has no fundamental nature other than its infinity, which isn't really a nature. We could say this is its nature. It's right because it's infinite. It has no final resting point of what it is. But it's always here. Never can be lost. even if we can't determine what it is. And we're feeling, this is what we're feeling. We might say, oh, I'm feeling X, Y, or Z. You know, I'm feeling peaceful, I'm feeling agitated, I'm feeling happy, sad, clear, confused. All of the forms this can seem to take on. It's the way it looks, the way it seems to be. It can seem to look like anything, right? But what we're actually feeling is the boundlessness of it, the impossibility of pinning down what it is. That's what we're feeling right now. I mean, we can even take, you know, what feels in one sense very primal about this is its suchness, right? It's here it isness, it's palpable existence, right? That is, we could say, there's a sense of that being its root, that it is, right? Its presence. But that itself is a bottomless mystery, isn't it? The ultimate question, you know, what is life? It's empty. It's not a thing. In that sense, there's nothing here. That appears as everything. The whole magnificent, magical display. This